guys, how are you doing today? We're now looking at 6.3b, which is I can determine with and without computation whether a quantity is increased or decreased when multiplied by a fraction. So it says in the expression shown, p represents a rational number, and we have 4p, and what this means is that whatever p is, we have 4 of them. So what we're telling us is that we're about to multiply. So I have 4 p's. What they want to know is what number or what value, so when I say value, what they're saying is what number can I substitute p for that makes the expression equal to a number less than 4. So I want a number that's less than 4. So let's talk about it. If I did 4 times 1, what would I get? I would get 4. So that would be equal to 4, not greater than 4, not less than 4, but equal to 4. So I want to make sure that 1 is not one of the answers that I'm looking for. What happens when I multiply 4 times 2? Well, what is 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8. So when my number is bigger than 1, so when I multiply by a number, so when I multiply by a number bigger than 1, I get an answer bigger than 1. Are y'all okay with that? Because any number, so if I did 4 times 3, I would get 12. 4 times 4, I would get 16. So any number I multiply bigger than 1, I'm going to get a number bigger than 4. But what happens if I were to multiply by a number less than 1? So let's use 1/2 for example. Well, how do we multiply a fraction? Well, first, 4 is the same thing as 4 over 1. So 4 times 1 is equal to 4. 1 times 2 is equal to 2. And if I simplify 4 over 2, I get 2. So what happened when I multiply by a number less than 1? I get an answer less than 1. So if I multiply by a number less than 1, I get an answer less than 1. So since my answer, they want a number that is less than 4, I need to make sure that I am multiplying by a number less than 1. So let's look at our answer choices. We have 9 over 8. Well, I know that 9 over 8 is an improper fraction. Because it's improper, 8 goes into 9 one time with 1 left over, which would be 1/8. And that is greater than 1, so it cannot be my answer. I'll look at the next one. I have 19 over 17. That is also an improper fraction. 17 goes into 19 one time with 2 left over this time. But even though it's slightly bigger than 1, it's still bigger than 1. So that means my answer would be bigger than 4. But let's look at 7/8. 7/8 is a proper fraction. I don't have to change it. It stays proper. I have 7 over 8. So this could be my answer. But we're going to check D out. D, 16 over 16 is equal to 1. And what happens when I multiply 4 times 1? I get 4. But they wanted an answer less than 4. So D is also not going to be my answer, which makes C my answer. I hope this helped y'all out. And if you have any more questions, just let me know.